Hey guys, welcome to the Trash Picture Show. This is going to be my Resident Evil game tag. The questions are all going to be set around the Resident Evil game franchise, not the movies, because the movies are a fucking atrocity to behold. If you're a fan of the Resident Evil game franchise, please, by all means, take part in this tag. I think you'll enjoy it, and I think I put together some fairly fun questions. So my first question is, number one, favorite Resident Evil game? For me, it has to be Resident Evil 2. The scope of it is very kind of George A. Romero, while the first one is a very solid survival horror kind of game set in a mansion. This one, there's a sense of urgency to it, and you've got two very likable leads. Claire Redfield, who is Chris Redfield's sister from the first game, and Leon Kennedy, a cop, a rookie cop on his first day. The replay value for this game alone is amazing. You have Leon scenario A, Claire scenario B. You can play it like that, or you could play it Claire scenario A or Leon scenario B. You also have the Hunk mission, where you play a commando trying to escape Raccoon City. And if you want to be an odd, weird fucker, you can play the Tofu mission, which sees you as a stick of tofu trying to escape Raccoon City. It introduces so many cool creatures. The Lickers are introduced into this. You have Mr. X, the Tyrant B. You have Ada Wong. You have a really cool cast of characters. And for me, it was the first Resident Evil game I played properly, and it just stuck with me. The replay value, the suspense, the puzzles, everything I think works so well in that game. So Resident Evil 2 would be my favourite of the Resident Evil games. Question 2, favourite series protagonist. I'm going to go with Leon. Leon Kennedy is badass. He's very wet behind the ears in Resident Evil 2, but by Resi 4, he's kind of got his combat skills down to a T, and he goes off rescuing the president's daughter, and later on he has to stop a viral outbreak in Japan, and he's a badass character. And I remember a friend of mine wanted to go out one Halloween dressing up as him, and we were trying to get all the gear together, and when he got the gear together, he's like, nah, I'm never going to be as cool as Leon. But yeah, Leon Kennedy is cool. He has a very kind of righteous way about him as well. He starts his first day as a cop, and despite all the shit going on, he wants to try and save everyone and do the right thing, and that is why for me Leon Kennedy is a pretty cool character. He's badass, but he's also got kind of an admirable righteousness about him, which makes him a very kind of cool character. Question 3, favorite human antagonist. A lot of people are probably going to pick Wesker. I'm going to go with Hunk. Hunk is kind of an umbrella operative who does a lot of wet works. He's essentially what you could call the Boba Fett of the Resident Evil franchise. He's this gas mask on kind of commando who has to retrieve samples for Umbrella, and he's well able to take care of himself, and he's the only survivor of the attack by the Burkham creature. And yeah, he's pretty badass. He's pretty cool, and he's turned up in some of the mercenary missions, and I think he's also turned up in Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City. But yeah, Hunk is pretty cool. He is like the Boba Fett, or the man with no name. He says very little, but you can see a lot in his actions. Question 4, favorite Resi monster. My favorite Resi monster, going back to 2, would have to be the Licker. For two reasons. The design lends itself very much to the xenomorph. You have this eyeless creature that's all teeth and claws, and I was like, yeah, that's very kind of Geigerian creature. But also because the introduction, if you play the PS2 game, the fucking introduction of the Licker is pants shittingly scary. It is badass, and I'll be interested to see what they're like in the remake. So yeah, for me, my favorite Resident Evil creature would most definitely have to be the Licker. Question 5, favorite boss monster from the franchise. Let's see. Probably Nemesis. I think Nemesis is pretty cool because you had the Tyrant in Resi 2, Mr. X, the Tyrant in Resi 2. He'd follow you around, but I always felt that Nemesis would pursue you. He would probably pursue you like to the ends of the earth to try and kill you, and just that whole thing where you hear stars, stars You know, you enter a room and you just hear his footsteps and stars. I can't do it right. My throat's nearly gone. But yeah, Nemesis for me would be one of the best boss monsters. Because you, in various stages of games, you end up fucking him up, but he keeps on coming back and back and back, and he's like the Terminator. He's the Terminator essentially of the Resident Evil universe. Question 6: favorite Resi crush? A Resident Evil character you have a crush on, good, bad, regardless. I'm going to go with Ada Wong because that woman is all femme fatale. Ada Wong is awesome. She's like something from a 1920s Humphrey Bogart movie. You don't know whether she'll kiss you or kill you, and she has turned up time and time again as both an antagonist and a protagonist, and she's helped Claire and she's helped Leon numerous times, but she's also hindered him, and I just like that. I like a character whose motivations are very ambiguous, and boy does she really rock that red dress. So yeah, my favourite Resident Evil crush would definitely have to be Ada Wong. So, there are my 6 questions. And the people I'm going to tag are Queenie Todd, Lisa Loves, Night Shift Wonderland, Dave Baggett, British Tyrannosaur, and Dice Rolling. But if you're watching this video and you want to take part, by all means take part. And yeah, have a good one. Take care. Bye now.